Hello, welcome back. This is episode, shit, I already forgot. We have everyone except for Ruthless today, who we probably won't have today, and we will be talking about general horrors.
Oh, fuck's sake. More than just general horrors.
Mhm.
Fears, things like that. Fun stuff.
General horrors and
Oh boy.
fears.
Yes, Raptor, we've already established. It's gonna be a fun episode for you two. More for
Oh,
Raptor.
it is. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Alright, so, where do we want to start, boys?
I'm fine with starting wherever.
Well, in the spirit of Halloween and all that fun jazz, why don't we just start with the horrors part? Just general
Okay.
creepy, nasty stuff.
I'm
And we all
terrified of
know,
clowns.
I think everyone's terrified of clowns. Let's be fair there. It's
Mm,
clowns.
depends on the clown.
I don't like clowns except for one.
What's the exception?
There's only one clown I like.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Uh,
For
But he's a
fuck's,
murderous ray of sunshine.
for fuck's
oh
sake.
god.
What?
Oh god.
Hate
Of
everything right
course.
now.
What? What?
Judging you.
What
That's
do you
what.
want from me?
Judging.
Okay, have fun with
Judging.
that.
I already am.
Have fun with that. Okay, good. Because I don't plan on changing this at all.
Nor would we expect it. Not at this
Good.
point. Which I have a bone to pick with
Good.
you now that I'm fucking thinking about it. Your fucking
Oh,
characters are popping up in my Pinterest feed. The
my
ones that
characters.
you fucking share in the gay and simp chat.
Oh,
They're
good. Good.
fucking
I'm
popping up
glad.
in my Pinterest feed. It pisses me off. I'm like, I don't even
Beautiful.
care.
Oh
I
my
have you to
god, that's
blame.
awesome.
Beautiful. They added a new character to the game,
Oh,
too.
for fuck's sake.
Soft
Fucks.
spot for emo boys, and they added boy.
Oh my god.
Anyways, when it comes to horror and stuff, I really don't like clowns. I don't, despite what our little conversation just was.
Of course, you'll do anything for a fucking roided up clown, won't you?
I'm sorry, but he's gentle and reassuring. Leave me alone.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god.
Um, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, but I've been scared of clowns since, horror movie. Local townsfolk get turned into human Capri Suns by evil spirit disguising himself
Human
as a clown.
Capri Suns?
Human
What?
Capri Suns.
I'm talking about it.
Oh,
Feels like consuming people and stealing their life force. They're like human Capri Suns.
never heard it described like that. Oh my
What
gosh.
the
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I can't not think of the movie with that description now. I played a game earlier this month with a couple friends where we were describing horror movies badly.
Well, I guess that's one way to describe it.
I mean, I'll be
See?
quite fair. I've never actually seen it, so I can't really judge. I can't
When I was
handle
very
horror.
young.
I couldn't. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I've never watched
I
it
was
either.
never liked
Never
horror
really
when I
wanted
was.
to.
Yeah. I've never
Uh,
really liked horror movies, but when I was younger, my uncle would convince me to watch them. Because, like, you know, it's, he convinced me to watch them. Or I'd willingly sit down and watch them because the rest of the family was watching and I wanted to be included.
that's unfortunate.
They never really saw anything of it because the rest of the family is big on horror movies.
There's another general horror to bring up. Spiders.
Mm,
And I know someone here doesn't like spiders all that much. Hey, Skull?
Don't get me started.
I already am.
Lotus, no. Why are you
Yes.
doing this to me?
Because
Oh,
we are
yeah.
recording and it's about fucking fears and horrors and
Oh, hi,
who.
Ruthless.
Ha! See, eating your own fucking words, Raptor. Here's Ruthless.
Oh shit, Ruthless is here. It...
You're so
Fucking
mean, Raptor. Jesus
Pay
fuck.
attention at times.
Assembly, as always.
Always.
Hey, that means you get the best entrances, buddy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, my apology to you. That Skull get a Raptor didn't. I'm still brain dead from the lack of sleep or lack of remembering of sleep. So,
Okay.
most of it will be directed towards Raptor because it's Raptor.
Yeah.
I mean, he is literally
Oh
the
no, I'm
punching
siding
bag.
with you, Lotus.
Do win, don't you?
He is literally the verbal punching bag of you two.
I mean, you're not wrong, technically.
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Technically. Raptor doesn't have any room to speak.
I mean, he has so much ammunition to poke fun of. But anyways, are you guys
It
recording?
makes it easy. Yeah, we are.
You
We're
can't.
talking about general horrors and fears.
All that fun stuff, Right now we're talking about spiders and I'm trying to get Skull to talk and he's being a little bitch.
Thank you. I try my best.
I know you do. And you're doing a good job. See, Raptor, take notes. That's how you handle it.
Well, I kind of lost faith a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know.
Lost faith in what?
I don't know.
Exactly.
What was there for you to have faith in about comebacks like this before?
Oh my gosh.
So, spiders. I really don't like spiders.
Depends
I mean,
for me.
I don't know, just I don't like. Well.
Oh wait, don't you have arachnophobia?
Yeah, it's just like
Oh.
if you're spiders.
Yeah.
Which that is
Yeah,
also a movie, and it's one freaky ass movie too. Like holy shit.
Yeah.
I have one exception to my fear of spiders, but
What's that exception, buddy?
we don't need to worry about that. Hold
What
on,
is
I'll send a
it?
GIF.
Oh.
As you know, I've been watching Monkey Kid lately. Her.
That means absolutely nothing to me.
Her.
Yeah, I see, but
Spider
I'm just like.
Queen. Except she's not actually a spider.
What about
She's my
Angel
exception.
Dust? What about Angel Dust then, Skull? Angel Dust is a spider.
Angel Dust isn't like a spider-like enough for it to be scary. I also didn't realize Angel Dust was a spider right away.
Yeah, Angel Dust is a spider.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known unless you had pointed that out.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, 2 exceptions.
2 exceptions. Good to know.
I mean, 3 exceptions. Spider-Man.
3. What's the third? Oh, Spider-Man.
I don't know if you can count them, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can count Spider-Man in that exception
Unless-
to, like, you know.
Unless you're counting the time when he, like, grew, like, 6 arms and fucking had a weird... and literally became literally a spider, but...
I say Spider-Man as a joke and also to lighten the mood, because the spiders make me squeamish.
That's fair.
I was about to say, I didn't realize the mood was dampened. Then again, I can't feel anything, so.
Lucky you.
I don't know how lucky I am right now, but sure.
A blessing and a curse.
Pretty much. That's how it is right now. Oh my gosh.
Sounds
Fuck
about right.
everything. Yeah. But it was just the horrors and all that fun stuff. Along with spiders, I do have to say bugs. Bugs are creepy and nasty. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
I do not like
Some
any
bugs
bugs.
are okay.
No, I
I
don't
like
like any bugs.
butterflies.
Like
I like
any
butterflies.
bugs?
Who does? Really?
They're just I don't like them.
I mean,
Butterflies are my exception.
a lot are annoying, but I wouldn't say I'm afraid of them.
I definitely am. I have a violent reaction when one gets near me. Oh my god, it's really bad. I am like deathly afraid of bugs. To the point where like my mother tells me to fucking grow a pair.
Oh, so you're like me in the regard of you see a bug in your room and you're like, nope, the bug can have the room. Set
Pretty
everything on
much.
fire.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly it.
I'm
Oh,
like
you
that with
would.
spiders.
Yeah.
See a spider in my room, that's fine. That belongs to the spider now. I'll just burn the house down. You better go
Pretty
to
much.
old-fashioned arts and I'll fix that.
Oh,
There was actually one time my sister. Well, this is back when my aunt was visiting. My sister had cleaned the basement because I'm physically not able anymore, and I'm sitting here, lights on, trying to draw and everything, and I see this massive ass black cricket crawling across the floor, and I'm like, okay, don't move, just let it do its thing. Crawled underneath my dresser, and it kept coming in and then going back. It kept coming out and going back in until I finally shut off the light, and it stayed under the dresser. But I did not move until that fucker was under the dresser again. And I was like, nope, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not touching it. I'm not nothing. Nothing at all. Thank you very much.
bugs? Okay, bugs like that. Like bugs in general. I kind of am very. I'm very to the point where it's just like I could literally just squash one. Hell, I remember one time there was like a cockroach. I literally just step on that shit, all out of tissue, pick up that thing, and threw it in the trash.
Okay, so my question is, how big was it though? Was it like one of the big chonkers, or was it an
Oh,
itty
it's a
bitty one?
big one.
Okay.
If you're in the swamp of Florida and in the region of Florida, you're gonna find a lot of big cockroaches.
Okay, because I asked that because, like, this is kind of funny. So, like, my sister was freaking out about finding an itty bitty little cockroach in her clothes. And when I worked at HarperCollins as one of their line processors, I was going through the pallet of boxes. It was like a Barnes and Noble's pallet.
Yeah.
And I move one of the boxes, and I see something move in the shadows of the pallet, and I'm like, "What was that?" And when I look to my neighbors, I'm like, I think there's something on my pallet. And they're like, oh yeah, it's probably a cockroach. I'm just like, what? Oh, and it was a massive sucker too. I'm like, holy shit!
How
And then
big
the
was
other, it was a pretty big one. It's probably the size of my palm.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one, and
Ooh.
he got away. And then the other ladies were telling me, "Oh yeah, I once found one of those in one of the Gaylords, and I just toppled the books over on top of it and refused to touch it." I'm like, "Oh no." It was the only cockroach I ever saw, thankfully. But like, you know, I'm just like, no. Yeah, but like, I accidentally scared it away because I screamed. And then the lady that was going to kill it, she's like, great, now it's gone. What are we gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, but it's gone now.
If you ever dealt with a palmetto bug, that shit is even worse than a cockroach because it's literally a cockroach with wings.
Oh fuck no! Oh
Yeah.
fuck no!
And I find like maybe 2 so far,
Oh my
and it's
gosh.
mostly been like around
I'm just glad.
near outside.
I'm just glad we don't live in Australia.
Oh, for
Because
fuck's
in
sake,
Australia,
yeah.
the house spiders can get to be the size of dinner plates.
Not to mention extremely deadly too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, everything's deadly here in Australia.
Spiders are
Let's be
fucking
fair.
big. And
Also,
everything can kill you.
also a lot of shit in Asia. Like some of the shit that's in like mainland Asia, just so wacky. Especially the fish, like the snake fish.
I see.
Yeah.
And Skull and I have shared some fears so far. We gotta go around the table now. What about Ruthless and Raptor? What about you two, huh? What are you two afraid of?
I mean,
Anything?
one of mine is weird. I'm not really afraid of flying, but heights though.
I mean, that's kind of understandable because, like, it's kind of like the same thing with me. Like, I'm not afraid of water, but I'm afraid of drowning, and like heights can kill you.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny. I forget what it's called, but there's like something in like a building in Chicago where like you can go up it and like look down, and it's like I get like a glass floor or something where you can like look out on the entire city or something like that. It's something that when I thought about it, it just gave me really bad panic. I'm just like, no.
No.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I'm just like, no, we ain't doing that.
There's
I might be wrong, but like, I also can't think. I've got like maybe half a brain cell left.
there's
I gotta
actually
admit.
one tourist attraction that I want to visit at some point in my life. It's called Machu Picchu. But at the same time, I'm a little hesitant because it's in the mountains. It's in Peru.
Okay, so I'm gonna say is like mountains aren't so bad because like I've been up in the mountains. I've climbed mountains. Like not obviously like the sheer cliff kind of mountains, but like they're not actually that bad, and it's not
It's just
quite the same.
isn't it harder to breathe in the mountains?
The higher you go, it
Yeah.
is, yes, but like if it's not that big of a mountain, you don't really need to worry too much. I mean, granted, the mountain I climbed was like, it was like a 3-hour hike up the mountain. And I can tell you right now, the view is fucking gorgeous when you're actually up there, but like, I'm not physically fit enough or capable anymore to do that kind of stuff. I could probably make like 5 minutes up the mountain, I'll be done. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yay.
never really been up a mountain like that though, so I don't know.
I think you'd be fine. You really don't even think about it. Like, it literally just feels like you're on normal land. Like, I can understand, like, going up in, like, a skyscraper or something like that when it comes to heights, but when it comes to mountains, it's really not that much. Like, if you're over the edge, obviously you're gonna notice it, but if you're just, like, on flat ground up on a mountain, you're not gonna notice.
Yeah, I hate that skyscraper shit. I'm not sure if you've seen Home Alone 2. There's a scene where Kevin is on top of one of the buildings of the World Trade Center. I'm not gonna lie, just looking at that scene gave me a little bit of chills because of the height.
So I have to wonder, did you ever see Megamind?
No, I haven't.
Alright, well, first of all, you're missing out, and 2, I'm ashamed of you, and 3, there is a scene in there that would really kind of freak you out a little bit, just because of, like, the whole heights thing. So, and spoilers for, like, what, a 12-year-old movie, so fuck off. But there is a scene where, Roxanne is kind of like piecing together what Megamind's plan is, which is just to make a new hero, which is Titan. Well, Titan also turns out to be the nice guy, TM, that is like obsessed with Roxanne. So he gets the superpowers, and when he has all his training and everything, he pretty much kidnaps Roxanne and tries to like get her to fall in love with him, and then he takes her up to like the tallest skyscraper and they places her down like on this itty bitty little platform that she can barely stand on. Well, I say
Oh.
barely, but like, yeah. And then it gets even worse because like when he reveals himself as Titan, she's trying to explain to him like we are not an item, we're not a couple, and he starts freaking out, and he gets closer and closer to the point
Oh.
where she's about to fall off. That she has to grab onto him so she won't fall back.
Oh.
And then he pretty much abandons her on top of that. And it's terrifying. That entire sequence is terrifying because that entire time, like, he's trying to, like, swoon her, he literally drops her. So then, like, she pretty much would fall to her death if he didn't save her. So, yeah, no, that sequence in that movie would probably freak you out after. Just because,
Yeah.
like, the height and the falling and everything. So,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of
it
the
would.
point, though. So it makes it fun.
Yeah, that's all kinds
Exciting.
of fucked.
Yeah, it is. But welcome to all that fun stuff. Now, passing the torch to Ruthless. You haven't shared a fear yet.
Yes. Admittedly, I used to have a height of fears, and then I just stopped. And then, I did. Then I just kind of just grew out of it. But the one phobia I always had, and it's still to this day just kicks in, is reptiles.
Reptiles.
Overall.
Like just in general?
In general, any reptile, I just like, no.
Why? I'm a little curious.
Oh, long story, but so I will start from square one. So, well, there's two reasons. One, so when there was started to have a widespread, like when iguanas was being widespread and rapidly invading the environment of Florida, and it is considered an invasive species. If you ever know that if you get bitten by that shit, it's most likely not sanitized. And I almost
Creatures
got
are
bitten
these?
by that. Yeah, that's what I was told when I was like really younger. Like, it is not. You really do not want to be bitten by those.
What was it again?
Iguana.
Okay, iguana.
And the iguana almost bit my fucking finger.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's not good.
And that shit ran on the water. And
Oh
when
no.
I was ran away on the water, and I was like, literally, I was like, is that sane? And I was
Fuck
around with
no.
a lot of like really religious people, and was talking
That's
about the Bible.
great.
Run on
And that
Naruto
ever
like
since
Naruto
then,
type shit.
I just used to, and I used to be, and I when I was younger, I was like, reptiles are the children of Satan.
Yeah.
Until I got older, of course.
It
That's funny,
seriously
though.
ran on the water like Naruto type shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can.
Holy hell.
Mainly because of their web feet.
Mhm.
They're just biologically able to do it. And also, their muscles are designed to be able to
Yeah.
make it float on water like that. But it looks like running on water. And that shit and after then, I would just immediately think, I just like part of my head cannot remove that. Cannot remove that thought. I don't know why. I don't know what can get overcome it, but it's just always gonna be there.
I'm just gonna say this now because I don't know right now, but I find it kind of amusing that I find that, well, I guess you could say it's a fear of reptiles. A fear of reptiles, but then like you're also obsessed with dragons.
Yeah, that's why. That's like why so many people who like call me a scaly, I find it hilarious when they find out that I have a reptile phobia.
Great.
What about dragons?
So Ruthless just shared that he's got a phobia of reptiles, but he's obsessed with dragons.
Yes, it dragons do internally somewhat creep me out, but I still I find them still cool because they are. Like I can't deny it, but they're fucking creepy. In part of my head says it's creepy, but it's like okay, yeah, this is cool though.
That's great. That really is.
Honestly, when it comes to animals that are cool and creepy, I don't like goats.
Goats are kind of
There's something
nasty, but
about-
I wouldn't say I'm afraid of them.
I don't know, like there's something about their eyes that creeps me out.
Ghosts.
Goats.
Oh,
That
ghosts.
I can kind of see.
I like ghosts.
I wonder why.
In my perspective, goats are assholes.
I mean, I feel like any kind of barn animals are assholes because, like, horses are. Oh my gosh, horses will eat your hair if you let them. Like, they will literally, like, you gotta be careful, especially if you have like long hair, because like a horse will easily reach out and yank you back by your hair.
Really?
Yes, you gotta be very careful around like horses and stuff like that. You want to make sure you're not sneaking up behind them because, like, if you spook a horse, they will kick you. They do not give
Yeah.
two shits. You spook it, you get in the fucking hind leg, and you don't want that. You really don't. And don't get me started on roosters. We already know about roosters here. Roosters are what you really should be afraid of on a farm when it comes to any of the animals. Let's be fair. Fucking vile, nasty, aggressive creatures.
Excited noises.
Excited noises for what?
Oh shit! I'm not muted.
Uh,
Busted.
now we require
I'll
context.
tell you later.
Fine.
I'll tell you guys later when we're done recording.
Is it about the boy?
Yeah.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruthless, you kind of missed it, but Skull has another boyfriend. He's got two.
Okay.
Well,
Good shit.
maybe. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. But
Hopefully.
Skull, we pass the torch back to you. What's another
But
fear? Fears.
I don't like distorted human faces. Or like uncanny valley type things where like it's supposed to be human but it's not quite.
I think it depends on the context, because if it's going like full horror, like kind of like in Coraline, how you have the screaming little girl ghost, where like her mouth is like where her face is like constantly screaming. That kind of shit freaks me out. But when it comes to like the uncanny valley, I think it just kind of depends. I know you get a lot of that in like animation, and it can be a little off-putting because you're always sitting there, obviously, trying to like put it together like it looks human, but it's not quite human. But like,
If you want
yeah,
context for like what I mean by like terrifying, look at stuff like the Mandela Catalog or the Walton Files, and you'll understand.
I'd rather not.
Yeah. I don't like distorted human faces.
And I'm probably just gonna say this real quick to get it off the bat, because this is probably gonna be the one thing we don't elaborate on, because I don't need two of us spiraling into panic attacks. But body horror.
I have no
And we
idea what that is.
To a certain extent, yes.
Yes.
There are certain things that I can and other things that I cannot.
I can't handle body horror at all. It's just too
Moving
much.
on.
Exactly, see? I knew it. I called it right there.
It's funny. When it comes to stuff like that, for me, it kind of like limits at like people, but that's just like a general thing for me with gore. If it's something that I've drawn myself, it's fine. But if it's something that I'm like looking
Consuming.
at that wasn't made by me, it's eh.
So, One thing I can share that's always kind of freaked me out and always like left really bad feelings in my stomach and things like that. And I can't really consume the media too much unless it's not really like heavily focused on or like not heavily horror, I guess is the best way to put it. But like oh, how do I explain this? Like almost like inhumane experimentation and things like
No.
that. Things like how do I say it? Like okay,
Human
so
Centipede. Human Centipede, for example.
not quite
No.
like that, but like
Really good there.
let me no. More like along the lines of not really I'm not afraid of Frankenstein's monster, but like in the same vein of Frankenstein's monster where you take dead people and piece them back together or live people and cut them apart to make something new or peeling apart people and things like that for different results to test people how far they can go see if you can get this result by doing this to someone and things like that. Like that kind of horror
Nuh-uh.
has always freaked me out.
Yeah, that's a no for me.
Yeah, I can't do that kind of stuff. Like, no, thank you. Actually, got really bad not too long, a few years ago. Like, it really peaked really bad, and I got deathly like afraid of needles. I'm just like, no. So yeah, that was fun. That was loads of fun. Didn't last long, thankfully, but I still can't stomach that kind of stuff. Maybe that's also why Nightmare Before Christmas might creep me out a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, that might be. Because I thought I mentioned it, but like I tried watching it again, but I just couldn't, and I'm like, I don't know what the problem is, but like I can't do this. It's like, yeah, fun stuff, very fun stuff. Raptor, your turn. The torch passes to you, buddy.
I mean, other than heights, yeah, definitely what you brought up, human experimentation, that's definitely on the list. But what else?
Well, the inhumane at least, like the
Inhumane.
the mad scientist route, essentially. You know. Anything else?
Yeah, actually, there are those things that like weird me out a little bit. I'm not sure if you'll know what I'm talking about. Basically, I guess like they hold your eyelids open, force you to watch something, and I guess
A
they'll
torture
Oh, like
device,
the
essentially.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they'll
yeah.
drop eye drops in your eyes, so you know.
Mm.
Yeah, those aren't.
Let's not go into detail, please. Ugh.
Okay, you don't like those either.
I
Okay,
just
the
don't like
torture
graphic
stuff.
description.
Yeah. I will avoid the description, but all I will say is I'm kind of very neutral on it. That doesn't really like like that's the least of my phobias. I will admit.
You're next, Ruthless. The torch passes to you once more. What's
Okay.
something that you fear?
I think that is like the one thing that I'm only terrified is reptiles.
Well, what's like a general fear, I guess is a better way to put it. Come on, you gotta have something.
What about the
Madness,
dark?
like the general idea of just going mad.
Alright, well
Like,
then how about Skull and I could probably help you find some stuff. Both of you,
What?
actually.
Well, I mean, for me, it used to be the dark, but it kind of evolved in like when I was little, I used to be terrified of the dark, but I kind of came to understand that it's not really so much as being scared of the dark as being absolutely terrified of the unknown and the things that could be possibly lurking in the darkness.
Oh my gosh, okay, so here's the thing. I'm still scared of the dark, but it's for that exact reason you actually just brought up. Cause like Obviously, I believe in the supernatural. I know there are spirits all around me. And they like to come out when I'm writing, because I can't tell you how many fucking spirit orbs I've been seeing over the weekend while I was writing. Like, fuck's sake. Oh yeah, Oh, they know I'm talking about them. It just got cold around
Oh,
my
I am
arm
no.
and my
mad,
hand.
Lotus.
Yeah, no, it just got really
I'm
cold.
mad.
They
Oh,
know I'm
fuck
talking.
no.
Shit, Lotus, why did you do this?
Why'd you bring this upon yourself, Lotus?
I do this. Don't worry. It went away. They know. They know.
Yeah, I really cannot say anything real here. I
Grandma,
really
no.
on that part.
Oh no. But no, yeah, it's
Grandma messes with
more a fear of the unknown and the darkness, because this one's gonna go also hand in hand with what I just what we're talking about with the darkness and the unknown. But like when the power goes out and it's basically absolute darkness, I can't do it. I can't sleep at that point. But there's also another element mixed in with it, which I will get to in a moment. It's why at this point in my life, even though I'm like in my mid to late 20s, I still sleep with basically what is a nightlight. It's my PC lights, but I have them always going throughout the night because I can't sleep without something. I need light. But
Oh yeah. No, I feel you, Lotus. I've got the
yeah.
same sort of thing with my Amazon assistant friend that I'm trying not to wake up because it likes to pick up at the most random of times. But mine has a screen, and so I get a little digital display with the time, and it's just enough light for it to be okay.
I feel that. But
Right.
another one that kind of goes hand in hand with the darkness and the unknown, because you kind of get it mixed in, which then gets all the creepier when it's broken, but that's silence. I can't say
Yeah.
I'm deathly afraid of silence, but I do get panicked when there is silence for too long. It's why usually I've always got noise of some sort going on. Usually it's music. If it's not music, then it's usually like a
Mhm.
YouTube video. But I always have to have some sort of noise. Even at night when I'm going to bed,
Yeah.
I have a fan going for just white noise. But then I also have
Yeah.
either a YouTube video, which I only put on when I'm having anxiety issues, which I'm having anxiety issues. Thank you, fucking antidepressants. But usually I sleep through the night listening to music because it helps calm me and fills the
Feel you there.
silence. So
Well, I mean, you guys have seen how bad it can get for me with the silence. Like, where even if, especially if I'm by myself, if it gets really quiet, even if I'm playing music and stuff, sometimes it's not enough to like block out the silence of everything else, especially when I was living back home because it was really loud most of the time. There was always something going,
right.
always the TV, like always people talking, just something, always. And so when it's really, really quiet, like it just really messes with me.
I definitely feel that. See, mine is more the opposite kind of problem where I was always kind of surrounded by silence for the most part because my mother is one of those that does not like noise. She doesn't like a lot of noise and all that fun stuff. So
Oh,
it was
that's
always,
that is
yeah,
like my family.
yeah. So, and she's one of those that, like, even if you said like a sentence, she'd tell you to shut up. She did not like talking, she did not like noise, she just liked silence. And the silence kills me. It's why often when she asks me why I talk so much, it's because I can't stand the silence. I need to fill the silence with something. As crazy as that sounds. But yeah, no, it's just how things are. It's alright, right? How about Skull? Got anything else to bounce off for these two? Since, you and I seem to be the most at one with our fears.
This might sound kind of stupid, but I like being given too much like in terms of choices and stuff really scares me because I'm an indecisive person. And so being given a lot of things to choose from, it makes me just like it brings me into a really panicked sort of state that I usually only get to when I'm like fucking scared.
Yeah, I kind
I
of
can see
understand
that.
that. Like, especially if I go to a restaurant, there's a lot of things on a menu that looks good.
It's chef problems, right?
Yeah.
Cook problems.
Oh, I feel you there.
That's what I know. It's like that meme I sent about Tauruses, how they'll just look at the menu, but they'll know exactly what they're gonna get because it's the same thing they get every single time. Which Ruthless said he didn't understand.
Yeah,
It's like, how do you not understand, though?
I cannot understand the concept. I think that's the thing, is like the concept of just being terrified of that.
I mean, is that what
And also
what
the
Skull
concept of
said
the orphans.
or the meme?
What?
You remember that meme I sent regarding Tauruses? And you said you don't understand, you don't get it.
Oh, okay. To be fair, I don't even. I'm not connected with that shit at all.
It's just
To the point
fun
where,
little things, Ruthless. No, well, and they are
listen,
kind of true.
I know some people who are obsessed with that shit, and my brain's just like, okay, okay, okay.
It's just funny little things. That's all it really is. At least the memes.
Yeah, you know, I've met those
And
type
the
of
only
people.
reason why I shared that is because I'm a Taurus and it was fucking true as all hell. Oh gosh.
And also, I'm kind of like, with that. That's science.
Fair.
As pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience, yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were saying tortoise for a second. I
You're a
pronounce it.
fucking idiot.
I pronounce literally myself and everyone else I hear it pronounced Taurus.
The fuck?
Yeah,
I will
Taurus.
say this: I did hear a little
Taurus.
bit of the
Yeah, Taurus. Thank you. Taurus.
tortoise. Yeah, I heard Taurus and tortoise.
No,
Alright, well,
I
it's.
heard Taurus.
Ah! There you go, Raptor. That's how you say it. Taurus.
Is that really how you say it? Because when I
Yes.
heard.
Raptor, I pronounce things better in French than I do in English. But when it comes to sounds, the AU in that, it's Taurus.
Taurus.
I mean,
Taurus.
I've heard Taurus. So.
It's like you're ignoring the U in there. Taurus.
Then again, I also kind of think tourist when I think of the word, so.
Taurus. Yeah. It's pretty much like the same sound, but yeah, it's Taurus.
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 I'm gonna call it Taurus.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I'm gonna be honest, my brain went to TARDIS right away. But that's
TARDIS?
because I'm tired and I'm
What?
not focusing.
Yeah, I bet it did. I bet it did. I wonder why. So, any other fears? Because I've got a couple, but I'm also I'm well aware how deep and heavy this might get
Oh,
if I bring
actually,
them up.
yeah. One fear I do have, I guess, is being followed. Like,
Hmm?
you know, like sometimes when you're driving, especially in a neighborhood, and there's like a car behind you that follows you on several different turns, like,
Oh, you're scared of being followed.
yeah, I just said that.
Raptor, I hate to say it, but when it comes to people following you, this is kind of the worst place to, be like that. I mean, come on, we have a following. A small
Awful.
following, but still a following.
Awful. Awful.
Oh
Awful.
my god. Skull, no. Fuck.
Where
Oh,
are
yeah.
you, Moxie? There you are. Thank you, Moxie. Hold up, I need one more. I need Octavia too. Come here, honey. Where are you? There you are.
What's going on?
Oh,
Don't
it's
worry
just
about
me being a disappointment. Don't worry about it.
massive disappointment, Foxy.
You should expect this from me by now.
Dandy has no context, but he's adding to it.
Giving him access to this channel was the best decision I ever made.
Yes, thank you
Lord.
very much for that.
Mm,
Oh, oh goodness. But in regards to you, Raptor, with the whole being followed thing, like I don't know, as someone who lives in a small city, and I don't know, I feel like I have cars following me a lot, so I'm just like, eh.
I mean, I'm not really sure if it's like being followed or just the black market.
What?
you-
What?
What?
Hey,
What?
I mean, I've heard a couple of stories of people
Oh my
being
gosh.
kidnapped and
Oh my god.
by the black market, having
Oh
their
my
organs
god.
sold.
First of all, that's more of a.
It creeped me
It is,
out.
but the fact it went from being followed to the black market.
It just creeps me out.
Sudden shift. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry for laughing, Raptor. It's
No,
just
you're not. Don't fucking apologize. We know better.
the sudden
I'm not
180.
apologizing.
That tongue.
I'm genuinely confused. Like, how? How does like a thing? Like, how?
No, I do genuinely feel bad about laughing about his fear. It's just the 180 caught me so. No, I feel like.
I mean, it's
I
just
mean,
the only thing
partially.
that creeps me out. Uh,
Oh, we
Okay,
lost the skull.
there's way more things. Like, there's other things, and that's not even a thing at all. Like, that's not even a thing in the U.S. at all. Maybe in a different country, like
what, the black
different
market?
country, but not in the U.S.
No, I believe it can be anywhere, like even in the U.S.
Oh, come on,
They
come
have
on!
like,
It's not a widespread
Yeah.
pandemic.
But like I was
Wait,
saying
I mean, you never
before,
know
my
what.
Discord
to be
decided
fair,
to
Ruthless, there is
fuck it.
essentially
But,
like that's what trafficking is, essentially, Ruthless.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, they could
there's
be
there's
anywhere,
kind
like
of different
hiding
than
Yeah.
like
somewhere.
human trafficking is way more way
Yeah.
more believable thing than just organs getting ripped out or people selling people like getting organs.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how I would react if I woke up in a bathtub full of ice missing an organ, especially a kidney. I mean, you don't
Oh,
need both
no,
your kidneys
no,
to live, so it'd probably just be like a whatever.
no, Skull, shut the fuck
But,
up. Skull, shut the fuck up.
honestly, I no, I like it's definitely an unsettling thing to think about, but at the same time when I think about it, all I think of is fucking have you guys seen that animation on YouTube with the unicorns?
No.
Go to Candy
No.
Mouse, Charlie! Candy
Oh,
Mouse,
fuck.
Charlie! When he wakes up in the bathtub and he's missing his kidney. God damn it, they stole my kidneys! I mean, I can't really say anything because, like, I have no room to talk. It's definitely a terrifying thought, but at the same time, it's so commonly seen in horror that I can't take it seriously anymore.
Or made fun of at least. Because you see it in a lot, like
Yeah.
hell, even Family Guy did it with like a Valentine's episode where like Meg went on a date with someone. I think she got roofied and woke up in a bathtub full of ice with her kidney missing.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, I
If anything, I'd be more terrified if I woke up in a box underground somewhere
No, yeah,
and couldn't get out.
being buried alive. That's ugh.
mm-mm.
That's
I
a yeah,
definitely
that's a no-go.
that was way more terrifying concept than that was way more terrifying concept. Would I be actually terrified? I don't know until it happens.
That is a fair
I-
point.
Then again, now I'm thinking of Bones. They got buried alive in a car, and they straight up blew up the airbag to get out.
Oh.
Like they made it explode.
I don't think I ever
Full
saw
on
the
made an
episode.
explosion. It was in season 1.
Yeah, I don't remember
Bones
season
and
1 that well.
the Bones and Hodge get buried alive in a car.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I don't remember season 1 too well, but yeah, no, okay, that's
Season 1 was wild. Season 2 was also wild, but they kind of got rid of Zach after season 2, and I'm mad.
Of course you are.
What? Zach was adorable.
Mm-hmm. So, who has the next fear? Because again, I have 2, but they are very deep ones and can cause 2 spirals. Maybe. We'll see. I'm assuming here still, so.
If one of them's the one that you're thinking of, I will be leaving the voice chat for that. You can message me when I'm good to come back.
We'll find out when I mention it. So, anyone else got a fear?
Until I can remember something
Honestly.
else, I think I'm good.
Honestly, I'm kind of like, this is kind of like a video game related one, but I'm kind of scared of the statues that are created when you play the Elegy of Emptiness in Majora's Mask.
I've never played Majora's Mask.
Just Google Ben Drowned. You'll understand. There's something about them that just fucking creeps me out.
That's definitely fair. I mean, I can be fair, like, in terms of, like, video games and being pretty much, fearful and that kind of stuff. So, I know I've probably mentioned this in the Bethesda episode, but I can't really remember because brain cells aren't a thing anymore. And, when I was younger, I think middle school maybe. But, thank you for joining, Skull. But, when I used to play Oblivion, I was like in middle school, and I was right back when I was really jumpy and full of anxiety and then insecurities and all that fun stuff. The music would freak me the fuck out in Oblivion. It actually got really bad to the point where it still makes me laugh as I remember it. I usually play in first person when it comes to Oblivion and Skyrim, but when it comes to ESO, I always play third person. But that's beside the point. But I was playing in first person, and sometimes the music doesn't always start on cue when it's supposed to. And I'm just happily going along my way up the road, and then something attacks my character, and I literally jump up out of my chair and fall onto my ass on the floor. And then when I turned around to see what was attacking me, it was a rat.
Oh my god.
just because of how the music is and just how the enemies can be, how they just pop out of nowhere, and I'm just like, okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, like
I
Oblivion.
mean, when it comes to
Go ahead.
music and games, I definitely feel you. I mean, mine's not the same, but for whatever reason, the old Minecraft music and the cave sounds scared the shit out of me and still do, to the point where if I'm playing Minecraft by myself, I have to mute my game because I can't with the music.
I mean, I feel that. Like, I will admit, when I first started playing Minecraft, I was actually really afraid to go off on my own. I'm just like, didn't want to deal with the monsters. Like, I didn't really feel comfortable caving. Like, I was. It. I kind of like relate to the some people that do say that Minecraft is like a horror game, and I'm like, when you're starting out, it definitely is like a horror game. But then once you
I
actually
don't know.
like adjust to it, you're like, oh, this ain't too bad.
Yeah.
I really never thought of it as a horror game, admittedly.
Well, granted, I'm a ball of anxiety, so.
Sure.
Oh, same, Lotus.
Exactly. So like everything can be fine, and then all of a sudden, like all it takes is one zombie sneaking up on you that you weren't listening for you just to jump out of your skin.
Yeah.
Or if you're
Yeah.
a dumbass like me, and then you fall into lava and you're sitting there panicking the entire time. That's something completely different. Or you have a creeper come out of nowhere and just be like, "Hey, bitch."
Oh, I
Oh.
don't like creepers.
Oh,
I had that
I
happen
have,
when I was cutting trees and stuff in the realm before, where I'd be focused on the trees and then, I'm fucking dead because a creeper blew up behind me.
I had one time. This was on Java, mind you, and on Java the mobs are a lot more like aggressive. So
Mhm.
I was playing with Slayer, and we were in a underground ravine, and I'm just chilling, walking around and everything, and a creeper drops like 10 blocks just to blow me up.
Oh.
Yeah, literally, it lands right in front of me, and by the time it lands, it basically detonates, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Now I'm glad I play Bedrock.
It's just, oh yeah, you're just like over here. Java's cool. We should play Java, and it's like, oh honey, I don't think you'd survive. You barely survive on Bedrock as it is.
Yeah. Like, granted, I won't say much since I'm literally just willing to kill myself for the memes, and then just shitpost and just do Minecraft just for shitposting. And also building. But yeah, the mobs are definitely way more aggressive.
The mobs fucking suck.
Yes, they do. Very
The
much.
mods in Java can go eat a dick.
Wait, mods?
The mobs.
Oh,
Mobs.
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 Yeah, far more
Okay.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Ooh, or so again, like this. Um, going back to when I was a little bit younger. Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead was one of those games that definitely scared me.
Yeah.
It still does kind of scare me because like they do a good job building atmosphere in that game. Like
Yeah.
you literally never know when something's gonna come out of nowhere and just attack, and then you're screwed. Like there's something about Left 4 Dead that was so good at scaring you, and it's just oh my gosh, I have some of the best stories from that game from my friends, and it's just fucking great. I think the best thing is so like again in video games you don't always get your music cues when you're supposed to, and they always come in either right
Yeah.
as you find something or after the fact. So I was playing with Celia when we were younger, and I believe it was Left 4 Dead 1 in the No Mercy. No Mercy. I think it was the hospital campaign. I think it was No Mercy. And there is, I think it's the halfway point of the campaign in part 3 where you have to go into the sewers. I could be wrong. But right before you go into the sewers, there's this room with like giant tanks, like storage tanks and things like that. And I don't know why, but I just had this feeling like I should look around right before I enter the sewers, just see if there's anything. Well, I look to my right, I don't see anything. I look to my left, and there's a tank fucking sitting there, like one of the big, massive
Oh.
guys.
Oh, the
And the
tank.
One of the big boys.
literally one of the big boys. And the moment I make eye contact with him, he bitch slaps me. I'm like, help me! And she runs the other way into the fucking bathroom. And she's like, I'm safe. Don't worry about me.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, you fucking bitch. Oh my gosh.
And
She
I know what
fucking
you're
left.
talking about because I played Left 4 Dead before.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She fucking left me for dead.
Yeah, she
And then
left
she
you
came
for
back.
dead. That's the time.
I know. And then she comes back after it's in. She's like, don't worry, I'll help you. I'm like, thanks. Thanks a lot, buddy. Oh my gosh, like that game was really good at what it needed to do. Like it knew how to scare you. It knew how to get you good. And I give it so much props for that because like holy fuck, it messed with me. Because like you have the witches, the smokers, the hunters really scared me too. Like because holy fuck. Oh yeah, it was. The boomers
Yeah,
weren't
I
so
haven't
bad,
talked
and
to
neither were the spitters. But like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
especially the tanks. Tanks are pretty bad.
Oh,
Getting fucking
Yeah.
bitch slapped by them. It was great.
um,
Or the jockeys. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the
Oh.
jockeys.
oh, oh my god. Wait, which one of you guys was it that played Zelda games before?
I mean, I've played a little bit of Breath of the Wild.
I've
That doesn't
played
fucking count.
Twilight, Skyward,
You
Phantom
played Ocarina
Hourglass.
of Time.
I have not played Ocarina.
Oh, Phantom Hourglass is a good one. Fucking in Ocarina of Time, there is a boss at the bottom of this wall that you have to fight, known as the Dead Hand.
Oh, I already know what you're talking about.
Fucking
Yeah.
terrified. You know the white ghost thing,
Yeah,
right?
the one that has all the hands around, and then if they grab you, they
Yeah.
hold you in place.
I
Yeah, no,
don't
I
like
know about
the
that.
I don't like the Dead Hand, and I don't like the Redeads.
Oh, wait, if we're talking about that, we have to bring up the one in Twilight Princess, the Yeti.
Oh, the Yeti. Oh, I don't like that. That entire transformation scene still makes me so uncomfortable because she goes from like
Mhm.
being completely fine to just full on fucking demonic, don't touch my mirror, angry, and then she like transforms into this fucking ice demon thingy.
Or so like this also could just be me and my ball and anxieties, but in Skyward Sword, like the Silent Realm, where you had to go to collect like the little.
Oh
spirit-
yeah.
No, that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
That shit always like made me terrified. I
The
hated
spirit,
those parts.
the spirit realm areas were designed to create feelings of anxiety.
Okay, good, because they succeeded. Because I felt so anxious. It's like probably like one of the big reasons why I'll never actually replay the game is because those just gave me too much anxiety.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same reason. Like I've seen people play Stray, and it looks like a really fun game, but with the little like monsters, just the chase scenes with those would give me too much anxiety, and I'm like, nope, I can't do
Yeah.
it.
I want to play Stray because haha, cute game where you're a cat, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, okay, something else that probably also puts a lot of not necessarily fear, but I guess anxiety. I guess essentially fear as well. Is forced stealth sections in games. Like you know the type where I'm talking about, where like you can't progress until you do this right. And the moment you're caught once, you have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Oh my god.
Oh, I found them
I
just
hate
annoying
shit like
enough
that.
I found those games. I can find those so annoying. I'm just like fuck off,
Here's the
but
thing.
never dread.
It's not the game, because like there's certain games like obviously like Assassin's Creed that's understandable. It's the point of the
Yeah.
game. But when you
Yeah.
have games where it implements those kind of forced stealth sections, like Final Fantasy 15, it's very much a very open combat kind of game, but there are points in the game where you have to be stealthy and silent. And that's usually when you're infiltrating Imperial bases at certain points. And I hate those sections so much because I'm not always paying attention and then someone sees me and I have to go all the way back. It's like that kind of shit. So it's both annoying, frustrating, and anxiety inducing. All in one. What a wonderful bundle, right?
Yeah.
Fun stuff. So, anyone else got something juicy? Anyone? Nothing?
I have one, but I'm waiting for these two to say something just to give them a chance.
Me, no.
Just some commentary.
Saw that coming.
What about what about stuff that scared you as a kid, like in cartoons and stuff? Like, it doesn't even have to be something that was meant to be, like, scary or whatever in kids' shows, but still ended up scaring you anyways.
I mean, I don't think there was really anything.
I can think of something. It goes back to Coraline. This is one scene I can never watch in the movie anymore. I always have to look away. And that's at the end when she's getting the last eye from the fake Bobinski. And when he's in the little tent on the cheese wheels and all that. And when the moment he says not even that anymore and she goes to remove the hat and it's just the rat.
I feel you. Oh.
Yeah, no, I can't watch that scene anymore. Like the moment all those rats like pop out, I'm like, nope, can't watch it no more.
I'm not at the point where I know about, but I definitely feel really, really unsettled.
Yeah, no, I definitely nope out. The first time I saw that, I'm like, nope. And every time after that, I cannot look at that scene. I usually have to wait until I hear that it's gone, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Like, to be fair, like, it's just, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. This could also just be because it's another thing, but like, this is probably more of a because my orientation, being asexual, I am probably also a fear of a certain thing. Skull probably also relates with.
Yeah, I'll just deafen myself here. You can let me know when it's safe.
All right. No, I just good enough. With Skull here as well, because again, he's gonna be deafened. There's a general fear of pregnancy, and then a general fear of just for me, sex. It's something that makes me very unsettled and uncomfortable when it's directed towards me. I don't care if people talk about it around me, but I don't like it when it's directed towards me or people get really pushy. And then the very thought of doing that kind of stuff is a little unsettling when it comes to me. So that's all I gotta say because I don't want to leave Skull out for too long. There we go.
All that I can say is just understandable.
Yes. Very, very understandable. All right. So there's that one.
Yeah.
I figured I'd get that out of the way for both of us there. Well, for me at least. You were like one small part of what that was. But
yeah, no, I heard the beginning of that and I had to know about.
Yeah, that's why I gave you a chance. I know all too well, hun. But so Ruthless and Raptor, you two haven't well, Raptor excluded. Ruthless, you haven't shared anything in a while?
I can't honestly, those are kind of my only fears. If we're gonna be very fair, I kind of only just have a general fear of just having another a mental illness. So just generally just not being mentally okay.
I don't know. I mean,
that's just like a general fear, but that's really it. And then reptile phobia. That's really just
in terms of the mental illness thing, I'm at that point where I'm just like, fucking bring it on. I'm already fucking depressed and all that good shit, and probably some other mental illnesses that aren't like diagnosed. So yeah, no, I'm just like, bring it on.
I can kind of see where Ruthless is coming from, but I'm going to take the time to expand on it and say, for me personally, it's more so like the mental like cognitive decline or whatever, like when you're old dementia and other things that dementia, Alzheimer's, like those, and just the general fear of forgetting and being forgotten.
So I can also expand on that as well, because that was something. So I'm just gonna be out and clear in the open, because that's what you and I do here, Skull. We overshare. um,
I think I'm like the undershare.
yeah, you are. I mean, I just want to say this
We
right now.
share more than Raptor does.
I think we share more than
Yeah.
everyone in our server combined, Skull.
Yeah.
Let's be fair there. But I find this funny, Ruth. It's like you like to comment how you don't have anything to poke fun at me about, but then I'm one of the most open books in the server.
To be fair, there's some material that I just don't have to make fun of other than like maybe shallow shit, but that shit will just ring hollow.
Yeah, get a fair
When
point.
it comes to oversharing things that are very easy to pick on, that's me.
That's fair. But in terms of that fear of being forgotten, I was easily that forgotten person, especially after we had moved here, because I came from a very small town, literally a one gas station, one grocery store, one main street kind of town, where literally everyone knew each other and half of you were family.
Oh.
Oh, that sounds so bad. Oh my
That
gosh!
that
But
does sound
it's
pretty
true.
bad,
It's true
actually.
though. Unfortunately, it is true.
That actually does sound pretty bad. Like,
It's
where are you
not
I
from,
know.
Alabama?
that bad sounding.
I know, but it's still funny though. It goes into my comment earlier in main chat how I had someone who was my cousin I didn't know was my cousin comment on my post. So yeah, though. I have family I don't even know about.
Oh yeah. As
Yeah.
someone who is First Nation, I feel that.
Mm.
The joke with my family when my mom, my auntie, and my uncle were younger, when they were kids living out where they were living, it was basically you had to check in and be like, "Grandma, we're not related to these ones, are we?"
Oh my gosh.
Just to make sure you weren't accidentally dating your cousin.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That's fucking awful, but also like, oh shit. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, so like moving from that kind of town to like what is essentially a small city was a big culture shock and a big shift for me that I never actually found my footing in school through the entire way through. So I was easily that person that everyone knew, but at the same time everyone ignored because I was just that weird one. I was the weird one.
Honestly,
And
I felt like that myself when I was in school.
well, then add on top the when people do like they do like give you attention, but then they're also very quick to forget about you. You're often left out and everything. Your own parents seem to forget about you or push you away and things like that. And your own friends don't really care about you. That you're always left alone, kind of thing. That it definitely brings up that fear of being forgotten and feeling that you are forgotten. And it was definitely something I struggled with probably up into my 20s. I don't know what really muted that insecurity. I think it's just finding you guys for the most part, finding my group. But that was definitely something that haunted me for a long time. It still creeps up here and there, but it's not as strong as it was when I was younger. Because when I was younger, that fear and insecurity was massive. Like it was one of those things where I would break into tears.
I mean, it's kind of similar to me, honestly. Like, I've definitely been, like, forgotten before, and I'm not really sure if I've even had, like, any real friends before. And I guess, like, when I found this group, it was definitely a different type of feeling. Like, I'm not really sure how to explain it.
It's that kind of thing where you're comfortable, where like we're all assholes, but like we still care.
Something like that, I guess.
Yeah. You just kind of feel it's hard to explain, but like you just kind of know you're in the right place.
It's just a feeling in your gut.
Yeah.
Like you feel comfortable. You feel almost safe.
Yeah.
Which is always good because that's what you want to aim for because that's how you know you're not going to be around like assholes. Well, we are assholes, but like we're a different kind of
Yeah.
asshole.
We're the fun assholes that'll like poke fun at you and then make sure that we're not going too far at the same time.
I don't think we've ever really gotten too far.
There was one time that was whatever.
I didn't know about that one. But alright.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else is there?
Thinking about now, hearing what you said, Lotus, I think my only maybe general fear, just a general fear, is like just getting too attached to something. It just felt like a lot of things just. I felt like most of it, everything just doesn't like stick, and I generally had like a general fear of just like, yeah, people leave, so I'm like kind of like a more cold about like just being close to people. It's just the closure is just hard for me to feel or express.
I definitely do relate on that, Ruthless. It's not necessarily a fear of getting attached because it's actually kind of sad because of how I am, but I am a master of detachment because of all the experiences I've gone through and all the fucking trauma and everything and how it's manifested. When I do get attached, but then something say comes up and there's a big falling out and say nothing gets resolved, I have absolutely no issue with cutting the ties and pretending like basically acting like you never existed. Like that's no issue to me at all. I can easily move on from attachment and things like that. I think in terms of like in that general area, mine is more trust and opening up to people that way. It's kind of like a weird thing that I can sit here and tell people about these kind of things, which like most people wouldn't be able to talk about. But at the same time, it's just like I don't fucking care what you think. So like all this stuff, I really don't care. But in terms like with trust, it's like reaching out to people and slowly opening up because that's probably the hardest process. It's like of how many times you get burned and hurt, humiliated, and things like that. You learn not to trust people because in the end, they will just turn on you. They will use everything against you, and it brings up a really bad feeling and fear that as you go through, you can't trust anyone, that you don't know who you can trust. And even when you do grow close and start trusting people, you feel those destructive tendencies coming up, and you're like, oh my gosh, can I trust them? What if they're not this? What if they're not that? And so many things crop up, and that's, a really deep seated thing. So, and especially when you have manipulators are out there who are like, don't you trust me? Or why don't you trust me? It's like, dude, don't even go there. Because one of my next manager, when I was at Adidas, they told me I should trust them almost blindly. Like, we're your managers, you should just trust us. Which is already a big no for me. And then there was another time where the manager had made a mess of the bags in my station, so I cleaned it up, and when he came back and he's like, "Oh, someone cleaned up the bags." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was me." The first thing out of his mouth was, "What, you don't trust me?"
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's not okay.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
not
not.
okay in the slightest.
It's managers. Like, what else to expect?
Yeah, but like you can expect them to have a little more tact and grace than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
It
the
just really
problem.
seems unprofessional. Like that
Yeah.
response and how they handled that really just unprofessional.
And like a minor tangent, but like I was kind of like briefly like because he saw the hand brace on me, like the one that holds my wrist in place because of the carpal tunnel. He saw that and he's like, "What happened to your hand?" I'm like, "Oh, it's carpal tunnel." He's like, "What are you, 60 years old?" I'm like, "Thank you."
What?
Yep. I'm just like, I have
Tunnel
the
can
health
affect
problems of one.
people. Like, Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
kind of
it's
not surprised. Like,
it's
especially just a manager doing that.
yeah, it's just like it's kind of tasteless, dude. And like it kind of like everyone was really cool there. Like you never really hear comments like that, and I'm just like, I don't know how to feel. He definitely brought a weird energy. I am glad I got out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another fun thing. It's just toxic people.
Ugh.
That's always gonna be a fun little like I wouldn't necessarily say fear, but I guess caution. It's because like you never really know how people really are, and the problem is like there's so
Yeah.
many.
Yeah. No, I feel you, Lotus. I
Yeah.
love people, but I'm fucking terrified of people.
Like it can be a little difficult too, because I I don't know if this sounds weird, but like or some people may get, but like I don't necessarily see things the same way that most people would. Like what is considered the norm, I don't see things that same way. So it does cause a lot of conflict at certain points. Um especially with like again with my previous managers that caused a lot of conflict because again I don't see things very similarly as to other people. Maybe I'm autistic, I'm not sure. I've never really been diagnosed. But
Really
Kind of sounds like
expensive
it.
to get diagnosed
Maybe.
as an adult.
yeah. I mean, again, it's like there's like I said earlier, like I probably have a whole slew of conditions that have not actually been confirmed.
Diagnosed.
Yeah, diagnosed. So I can't say for sure what I may or may not be. I just know what I feel and think. But
Yeah.
I
just because of
mean,
how I know, but like I don't know how I would go about doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing. It's like, do I really want to make that first step and start getting all these diagnoses? Because like that is itself is a whole nother terrifying thing.
I mean,
Because then like
Yeah.
people can see you as a freak and all these other things, and like
Oh.
I mean, my personal view, I think it would probably be a good idea to get diagnosed for those things if you do like have them.
maybe we'll have to see. Because again, like it's a lot as
That's
it
just
is.
yeah.
Because it's probably like also just another. It's like another big fear as well, like a general fear. It's like just not being accepted and you'll hear my voice crack a little bit, so but it is hard, and I think a couple of us, you already know who I'm looking at without actually looking at them, can understand what it's like not to be fully accepted for who you are.
Yeah.
And when we live in the society that we do, it's harder because of
It's
how everything is. And if you
yeah.
don't fit into that norm, then you're very much the outcast, the freak, still. And then you just keep piling and piling. It breaks people. Because you're not normal. You're not like everyone else. You're different. And being
Yeah.
different isn't always good.
Yeah.
Especially the world is so quick to turn on that and use it against you. So,
Yeah.
Are you all right, Lotus?
no, I have not been in the 20 years I've been alive, but I am here still. But These are things that need to be talked about regardless, and I don't care how hard they are, I will speak of them. But that's probably just another thing that comes with the trauma, essentially, is, and if it, especially being the outcast too, you grow to fear what people think of you, and you can tell yourself that you don't care, but you do. People's words will hurt, and you'll come to fear
Yeah.
them, and you'll fear society as a whole, and you'll shut yourself away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened with Adidas. Like, I loved the job, but there was a couple people, which again was one of the managers I spoke of, but there was another manager who could never really see things eye to eye with me at times. Like, she saw me as being overbearing, but it wasn't how I saw it. And all these other things. So it's like, again, communication, but like, yeah. It's just
People are simultaneously the best and the absolute worst thing.
they are.
Oh,
Because
fuck.
you do get those that are very open and respectful and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is they are few and far in between. I like to point to this joke. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Alex Myers, but he made a joke in one of his videos about how I think it was like how some guy's like, oh, I'll never find the perfect person. He's like, oh yeah, I know how you feel, man. I once found someone who treated me like an actual person, loved me, and like gave me all like, treated me like as an equal, and like I'll never find that again. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
how true that is. Like, it's just how our society is. Like, the problem is there's so many like, I guess, toxic individuals or people who let that kind of toxicity dictate their lives, and I think that's what kind of gets me. It's like, I just don't understand the point. I don't see the point of holding on anymore on holding on to the past and just wanting to look forward. If anything, I fear the past more than anything. I also fear the future, but like that's a whole nother ball in itself we'll get into later. But like, just people in general is a very terrifying thing, especially when you're not like everyone else. You are different. So
Yeah.
Holy
it makes
shit.
things so much harder.
I actually started crying there. Fuck.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the Unresolved Trauma Club.
Welcome to the yeah.
It's basically what it is. If you can't laugh through your trauma, then you're fucked. No, yeah, so again, like what Skull said, people are the best and the worst thing. They are obviously, again, like the best but the most terrifying thing, because the moment you're not like everyone else, they will turn on you.
Oh, big
They will
time.
ostracize you.
Yeah.
Even when in the communities that you thought you would be accepted, they will do that too.
Yeah.
So, no matter what, it's a mentality that we do have as humans to turn against something that is not like us.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
We
for some of us,
also
that will hold us back. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It really doesn't help that a lot of people too will judge things they don't understand instead of trying to understand.
and even then, like, there's people that just genuinely can't understand. And I know this is getting a little heavy here and there, but like, I'm going to talk about this regardless. Welcome to our TED Talk, by the way. It's long overdue, but welcome to our TED
Yes.
Talk.
That's one way to put it.
It is, but I guess a good way to really put into English,
Oh,
Words.
fuck.
put it into words what Skull is saying is I am asexual, and it means I do not experience sexual attraction, and there are people who are ace that do genuinely enjoy sex and do engage in sex and that kind of thing. But the type that I am a borderline sex adverse and sex repulsed. I lean more towards sex adverse because I don't like it when it's directed towards me, but I don't care if it's spoken around me. Like, it bothers me on a smaller level if it wasn't directed towards me. And I had finally told my mother that I am ace, and unfortunately, my aunt, who is very Christian and very religious, was there to hear it, and also heard I was a romantic, which means I don't experience romantic attraction. The only thing is, I am a romance positive arrow, so. And as I was trying to explain to them that, Dandy, or Soulblade, as you guys might have seen him, is my, well, my zucchini, which is the technical term for what he is.
Yeah.
Them basically just going in like, oh, so you're not actually dating, or trying to really push the fact that like how when you make love with someone, you're giving like a piece of yourself away. There's this big emotional connection, and the flesh is carnal, and you will change. And just because you don't want it now, you might want it later. And that's something I will never understand. I will never understand that desire because it is not one I have. It's something that has always repulsed me, even when I was younger. And to hear that stuff from them just
Getting hurt.
it hurts, and it reminds you that not everyone will understand. And it doesn't matter how much you try to explain it. They just can't understand your experiences.
Hmm.
And it's why it can be very hard telling loved ones like that, because then you deal with that kind of stuff. It's one thing to tell strangers because you don't care what they say or think, even if they say the same thing. But when you have family that do it, it just hurts, especially when they go on saying, oh, but he might find someone else, and oh, you're just a sister wife then. And I'm just like, you're not helping me. Made even worse that part of me does hate that I am Arrow because of the society we live in. Another thing is that we're conditioned to want romance, to believe that we want romance and love and all that stuff. So growing
You
up
don't.
around like Disney and romance and all that, it really made me feel like this is something I wanted, but it's not really something I can ever feel and experience in that way. I can go through the motions, but I can't actually feel what it's like to be in love with someone like that. And it sucks. And the moment people hear that, they turn on you. They're like, "Oh, you haven't found the right person. Have you ever considered maybe you shouldn't be with this person?" And things like that. I'm just like, that's not how it is. But thank you. Thank you so much. That's a big fear in of itself, is telling people that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah. When it comes to stuff like that, if it's not, oh, it's not the right person, that's, or just like as a general thing, if it's not that, then it's usually followed by it's just a phase, you'll grow out of it.
Exactly. Which is also another thing you don't want to hear, because
Yeah.
it's very disheartening. That's why I don't tell my family anything. They just get the "I'm gay" explanation. They don't get the in-depth. They don't hear how I'm asexual and will never have sex. They don't hear that I'm aromantic and can never experience love like most people would. That the only love I can ever truly experience is platonic. And yeah, it does suck, especially when you have situations like what happened with my mother and my aunt. Like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter how accepting some few are, you're always going to be put against the greater, which is society.
Yeah.
And even society as a whole is very torn on those kind of things.
Yeah.
So it's a
Mm.
big fear right there, and one that can easily keep people from just like coming out
Yeah.
and that stuff. So
It doesn't even have to be like you can tell yourself you don't care about what society thinks, but when you have people really close to you turn around and reinforce those things, it just
it definitely makes you
it hurts.
feel. It hurts on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Because these were the people who you hoped would support you. But when
Accept
they
you no
don't,
matter what.
yeah, but when they don't, that's when it hurts all the more.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, even after that conversation I had with my mother and aunt, they kind of saw me out. My aunt didn't really say anything, but my mother, she knew something was wrong, but I refused to tell her because I didn't want to worry her because this is not something she'd understand. And I tried to share it with her so she would, but she couldn't understand it. So I just let it be.
Yeah.
I just kind of
Yeah.
wallowed in my own hatred, my own self-loathing, my own all that fun stuff. So
Oh fuck.
well, the joys of being on the bottom rung of society, where you are so different that no one will ever accept you.
Yeah.
Truly.
Tying into what we were talking about, for me,
I'm
it's
sorry for crying
the fear
seriously,
of
but
Raptor, I already beat you to it, buddy.
yeah.
I don't know if I feel like a
I
psycho
compare
for not
to.
crying at all.
No, you're good. To be fair, Ruthless, like I don't really think, and this is me just assuming, so I apologize if I'm wrong here. I think it's more like Skull and I know this pain because of what we are. I know you're bi, but like you're also like you don't make a big deal about it either.
And also, I
Um,
kind of am generally just not attached to family at all. So, like, to the
that
point where
too.
I literally don't, and I don't have attachment to any, like, I really don't like it, attachment immediately. So, I kind of generally am, like, a hot emotionally.
Right. But then you have May and Skull here who are attached and do care, and then like we've experienced this pain where like we are afraid to tell people we love because we don't want it to be like ostracized, rejected, misunderstood, and all that stuff.
I
And
mean,
Raptor,
Continuing.
I don't know why he's crying.
I mean,
Some people are just really
it's more or
like.
less I just have a I guess I just have like a thing of like
You're empathetic.
if there's like someone I care about that just like is sad, it just like goes over to me.
Yeah, you're empathic.
And also I guess it kind of reminds me a little bit of my ex-stepfather who forced me and my family into a cult that shall not be named a little bit. I mean, he was part of our lives
Ty
for like 6, 7, maybe even 8 years.
tying into what Lotus was talking about before. Not only is it like a fear of people not understanding, but a fear of abandonment for me.
Oh
Like,
fuck! Don't even get me started there. That is yeah. No, I understand that right there, Skull. Holy fuck, yeah.
Oh,
I kind of used to, and then I just kind of was like, and then
well,
just kind of mellowed
not
out
no,
into just
not gonna
hating
make
people.
this not gonna make this more emotional because it's already been really heavy. But yeah,
Oh fuck, I had no idea this was gonna get this fucking deep.
You're welcome. You can blame me for that one.
For someone who makes a lot of jokes about their dad leaving to get milk and not coming back, I really do hate the thought of being abandoned. uh, we'll crack jokes to make light of things, but still sucks.
Oh fuck.
Well,
Son of a
I've never
bitch.
had. In terms of that fear of abandonment, mine definitely doesn't stem from a parental figure walking out of your life, but more just always not
Yeah.
around and feeling like they had abandoned you, which I don't know what feels worse, is them actually leaving or them being there but not actually there for you. And then having to leave your family and abandon them so you don't have a support system that you used to have that you're used to.
Yeah.
And you're stuck in a place you know nothing about and you just don't understand, and that you are shunned by everyone, and the people that you would have as friends just treat you like shit, and then they abandon you and at every turn they can just to get rid of you, that you're pretty much just that one person that they can't get rid of, but they just don't try either. And it builds and builds.
Yeah. I hate how relatable all of that is. Going back to general fears.
Oh, we've been talking about that for a while now.
Yeah, I think
No.
we should
I
have been
mean,
talking about it.
like not like heavy general fears, but like just general fears. Jesus. Mascot costumes. I don't know why, but I fucking hate mascot costumes.
Mascot
There's just
costumes.
yeah. Like, you know how sports teams and stuff will have like the animal mascots, and they usually got like the people in the costumes or whatever. I don't know, but like the mascot costumes themselves kind of scare me. Especially when they're like really cheaply made mascot costumes, because it just gives them these really like unsettling vibes.
I don't know. For as many conventions I've been to, that shit doesn't really bother me anymore.
Mm.
Then you see a lot of weird shit at conventions, so you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shit isn't really much. So, what are some other fears we want to talk about before I bring up the two big ones?
Wait, that wasn't one of the big
Wait,
ones?
that wasn't one of the
No,
big
it
ones?
wasn't. That wasn't.
I figured that would have been considering.
You need
No,
a glass
the
of
big ones
milk.
actually spiral me into a panic attack, not a crying fit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I mean by the big ones. The big ones, I panic. I fucking have a full blown panic attack.
Oh, I know a general fear. This is a general fear. Well, kind of mix a heavy one. Heavy, but like it's a mixture of heavy is anger. My own anger. Like that shit. When I just get generally mad, boy, I don't know what will happen. I generally don't know what will happen. I think I broke
Damn.
like a few things when I was younger. When I really had bad anger.
Damn.
Like you said, like a fear of what? Anger?
Yeah, my own anger.
I'm with you there. When I was, I think, middle school is probably when I had my anger phase. Um, Even probably a little bit more into high school too. Like, it probably was another reason why people were a little put off from me is because I was almost always angry, which I was at that age. But it was felt easy to lash out at times, and even now I don't like my anger, especially when it comes out. I can hear it in my voice, and I'm just like, oh, that's not good. It's definitely something that I try not to let myself feel or experience because of how terrifying it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of find my anger terrifying because I used to be so bad. Like, I remember one time when I was like so pissed, I think I broke a part of my closet,
Damn.
and then I broke like one of the, like, even hurt my own fist against the wall.
Oh,
You know, you kind of remind me of my
feel
sister a
emotions
little bit
off.
ruthless. And now mind you that she didn't do this intentionally, like she just doesn't know her own strength. She was going to kill a bug on her window, and when she punched it, she broke the window.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Like I said, she wasn't angry or anything. She was just going to kill a bug, but she broke the window.
jeez. Fuck did I knock over? Sorry, I'm having a cat moment. Leave me alone.
You're fine. A little bit of level T there. So
I guess something to lighten up the mood a little bit.
yeah.
But that honestly kind of reminded me of one of my friends. He literally just went like try that kind of that's almost exactly kind of similar to I think he told us, like, he was telling us that he was trying to smack, I think it was, I don't know, it was like he was trying to trying to smack something away or something like that, and he just broke like something. I'm trying to remember. Like it's so vivid because it was like so in so back in the past, like during the high school or middle school, early high school. I'm trying to remember. Fuck. It's so vivid. But it was the awkward of silence.
So I have one other fear to just bring up. And again, this is probably more because I'm more of a beacon in terms of what it is, but I do at times fear spirits. At least the bad ones. I don't fear the good ones, but I do fear the negative ones that do pop up from time to time. You can usually feel when they're around because you get a really bad feeling in your gut.
Yeah,
I can get the gut feeling.
Like, and you also really know when there's a bad spirit around because like I can't really say good, but like the more neutral or I guess benevolent, it's probably a better word to me to use is those ones just like appear as orbs and things like that. Maybe occasionally you'll feel a cold spot or a warm spot where they are. But the malevolent ones are the ones that actually can move shit. Like if you see doors moving, objects moving, and that kind of stuff, you have a bad spirit. And those are the terrifying ones. Those are the ones that actually put fear in you, like immobilizing fear, and the ones that will also hurt you too. So, no, yeah, those are the ones I do fear. But if you guys don't have anything else, I can get into the other two. I can close out with the two big fears.
Well, the only thing I could reply to what you said is I don't know. I can't relate to the whole mysticism stuff, especially who I am.
Well, here's the thing, Ruthless, and Kitty described this best, is that you either are. Well, this is kind of like one of those things where either you are or you aren't. Just like one of
Yeah.
those things actually is black and white.
Yeah. It
you
is.
either you can see them or you can't, and those that can are like a beacon to these spirits because it means you can see them. You are their potential anchor. You're that thing that can give them strength, which you don't want to necessarily give them strength because you never know what they actually want. But that's why I say like I will see orbs around me, and things like that. They usually come out when I'm writing more than anything. I feel them now. They're making my hands cold. They might be trying to hold my hands, but yeah, I feel them. They're there.
Like the
If
only
it-
time I would have like a trip, like something like that, if I'm like tripping balls or really exhausted.
No, yeah, they're here. I know they're here. But it's basically either you do or you don't.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I am one of those that can, which means I am a beacon to these things. So it can be a little terrifying, especially when you have a little sister who's also a beacon, but also indulges in those activities and has used things like Ouija boards and all that shit, and probably has summoned a demon once or twice. Who has even told me that she won't use the Ouija board anymore because she doesn't know what she'll summon at this point. You always want to hear that, don't you? Fuck's sake.
Yeah, get rid of that shit.
Come on, Russian roulette. Come on, we
No,
need more.
we're not.
No.
We're not playing Russian roulette with demons.
Yes,
Fuck
yes,
no.
yes, 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 yes.
Oh my god! Just that first yes, Ruthless. I don't know. There was something in that just. Oh my god!
Yes, 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 yes.
Hold up. That's going in the quotes chat. Oh my gosh. Hold up here. uh,
I got to say something that's quotable.
yes, you do. I will give you that. There you go. Ruthless, yeah. But no, yeah. So no, my sister does her own thing. She is basically a modern day witch at this point. She's all about, crystals and potions and all that fun stuff. So yeah. I don't trust her with Ouija boards. Just know that I don't think she trusts herself with Ouija boards either. Let's be fair.
But come on, Russian roulette.
No, we're not playing Russian
No.
roulette with demons.
Yes, yes.
You can in D&D, but we're not doing that in real life. In real life, it gets really scary dealing with those things. Don't need to bust out the sage just yet, but we have it ready. And do a cleansing if we need to.
Do you need a barbarian?
Oh my gosh. What's a barbarian gonna do? If you can't
He's gonna
see
rage
it.
and he will rage and soak up all the damage. Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hmm.
And then just be like, the muscles will bounce, like the blades will bounce off, and then bad voodoo just bounce off the muscles.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright. So, since Skull's MIA right now, and if they are here, you're on mute.
Hmm.
I have her after and a Ruthless. We will close out with the two big fears that I have. That I don't know if Skull may share or not, but these are the ones I know earlier we had the big tangent about like those fears and, the sorrow and all that came with that. But these ones actually cause full-blown panic attacks. Literally, like, heartbeat fast, breathing hard, and literally just anxiety toppling over. The first one is a fear of death. And it's such a common fear, but death and time are something I genuinely fear. There are periods in my existence where I feel like I am wasting time. And with me wasting time, I feel like I'm losing opportunities to do certain things. It's why I know we have a very productive, heavy culture and how we need to measure our worth with what we produce. But it's more a matter of feeling like I didn't waste what time I have. There are days where I will relax and do something like play video games, but after a few hours, I will begin feeling like, why am I doing this? I should be doing this and this and this, and basically like wasting time. And then I start worrying about what if I never get to this? What if I never get to that? Like, what if I don't do this? And then it keeps spiraling and spiraling. And then, the whole death thing is just its own thing. But the big one that never seems to fail to cause me to either go into a mini panic attack or a massive one. And that is oblivion. I know it's a weird thing to have such a big fear on, but it's also why I can't handle a lot of sci-fi. Because a lot of the concepts of space and everything, and just what we know in general about our universe and how eventually everything will die and then there'll be nothing, and that nothing is the oblivion. And that is what I fear is a permanent end. Being completely forgotten, never having another chance at things and stuff like that.
I mean, for me personally, going back to the death thing, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a fear of death, more of like what comes after for me. Because, well, I'm like agnostic in the sense I'm not really sure what to believe or if there is like anything, you know?
I don't know what comes next, but I do know personally from my own beliefs, reincarnation is a thing. My soul is an old one, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm on my third or fourth life.
Really?
Yes.
How do you
And
know that stuff, actually? Just out of curiosity.
so you can take this for what you will, believe what you will and whatnot, but um, this usually happens when you're younger, usually when you're a kid. You tend to remember past lives a little bit better um, because of just your mind and everything. Um, I don't recall my very first life. That one I don't know. That's why I say this might be my third one. But my first one was terrifying. It goes into the whole mad scientist fear. I was, and why I say you take this all with either you take it with a grain of salt or you take it for what it is. But they did come in dreams, and that's how you will remember past lives. It's a lot of things. Dreams are more than what we give them credit for. Um,
Oh.
but in this dream, I was held captive prisoner in a very unusual kind of cell. I always had nails and screws driven into me, intense pain, and it felt like my body was always being torn apart.
Oh shit.
It sounds
There
like a
was
POW camp.
there was times where it felt like I died, but I never actually did. And then there was a moment where I escaped, and I found two people on a bed. One of them had the face of my aunt, which might say I knew her in a past life. But when I asked them for help, she just turned to who she was laying next to and said, I knew he'd kill her. And then when I turn at the doorway, I see a man with a gun pointed at my face. And as he fires, I wake up from the dream.
Oh.
That is usually when you know it is likely a past life because of that kind of waking up sometimes. The other one I want to say was a far more recent life, probably within the past century, more or even like past decade prior to my birth. It was a very short scene, but it was almost like a desert, flat land. I can't say where exactly, but I remember two lines of tanks coming towards each other. And then out of nowhere, a woman runs out into the middle of the battlefield. And through her desperation, she calls out that they have to stop, that they can't do this, that fighting won't solve anything. But they keep marching on despite this lone woman. And next thing I remember, she was getting crushed by one of the tanks, being rolled over by them.
Not gonna
I
lie,
woke
that's
up.
Shit.
no go ahead.
And these dreams I had when I was about 8 years old, and I still
Ooh.
remember them to this day.
Yeah, I would find that shit terrifying.
Those are the ones I'll never forget. That's why my soul is an old one. And usually when you are a kid, you will remember that stuff if you are an old soul, and it's usually your death. And usually points in my life where I've had existential dread were around the times I would have died in those past lives. When I was younger, when I was a kid, I literally burst into tears and asked my mother why I was alive. That was one of them. One of the other times was when I was in my earlier 20s, probably about 20 or 21. So that's why I do believe in reincarnation, but it's still a terrifying thing, knowing what I could have gone through in those past lives and what would have,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what would have happened with the lady who got crushed by the tank, but must have been something that really pushed her to it. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so there you
Um,
go.
I would ask you what kind of
uh,
tank, but at the same time, I don't want to, like, go any further than I probably should.
It's like one of those almost like generic, like that generic kind of green ones you see, like in most media almost. Like that's what
So,
my brain was associating with it.
the Second World War, maybe?
I don't know.
That's definitely not Second World
yeah.
War.
I don't know.
Um, I can't remember any of the past lives that I've had, but when I was younger, apparently one of the elders of the community I'm from said I had very deep eyes that just stories, right? Like like there's a lot there. The eyes can tell you about the soul, right?
Right.
But I don't remember anything. And if I did, it's not like it would matter because I don't really remember a lot of what happened in my childhood. So memories that I do have are very few and far between as it is.
I'm right there with you. I don't remember a lot of my childhood, and usually it's like those memes where it's like you're happily going about your day, and then you randomly remember something you did more than a decade ago, and you're just like, "What the fuck is wrong with me?"
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's usually something very embarrassing too, and you're like, "Why am I remembering this?" But
Why
no,
did I
those
do this?
why did I do this? Those dreams are something I will never forget. They're burned into my mind. Yeah, so all I know is in my past lives I definitely suffered. I definitely went through hell and high water and did not have a good ending in either of them. And I think it's probably why I have such a big fear of death and time and oblivion because of that. Because it's probably deep seated into my soul. So, yes, fun stuff. Welcome to our spiritual talk.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm a new soul then.
Well, new souls are usually a lot more energetic and outgoing, almost extroverted. Older souls tend to be a little more down to earth, um, world weary, and things like that. They
So
tend, I guess. I know I have an old soul. My sister is also quick to point it out. Like hell, she pointed that out when we were teenagers. She literally pointed at me. She's like, "That's because you have an old soul," and I'm like, "Thanks, Sam." But no, yeah, she knew. So,
Yeah.
and this old soul's a beacon. Oh, Skull, you missed it while you were gone. One of the spirits was holding my hand. I felt it cold in my hand, and as it wrapped around my hand. So, yeah.
Aw, they were trying to be comforting. They're like, "You
Yeah.
okay, bud?"
Yeah. I'm at least grateful that they are present enough to
You good,
try
bud?
and help. Don't give him too much energy. Don't give him too much energy. I'm pretty sure if I tell Melissa about this, she'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Look, I'm sorry." So sometimes you just need comfort. Oh yeah, I feel them again. They're cold. It's around my elbow.
okay.
Or is it the AC?
Oh no, the AC is all the way on the other side of the room on the floor.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And I can tell you right now, my room is 100 degrees because of my laptop. My laptop loves to heat up my room. My room is one of the hottest in the house next to the bathroom.
Huh.
Just because of my laptop. This thing
Wow.
pumps out air.
Wish my room was warm right now.
And also to add on top of that, Ruthless, my windows are sealed. So no air comes in and out of those windows.
Okay, yeah, that part I'm like,
Yeah, no, I
Hmm.
have plastic over my windows because they don't keep air well. So I seal them with plastic to keep the heat and the cool out. So yeah, and no fans going, no ceiling fan, no nothing. There is still air in my room. And it is cold around my elbows. So take
Yeah.
that for what you will. But again, like I said, Ruthless, like it's either you are or you aren't, and you clearly are one that is not.
Yeah, I'm not.
You are not a beacon, and be grateful that you are not a beacon.
And I cannot understand souls.
Yeah, I guess now we
That's-
have an unintentional featured guest.
It's only that way if you hear him speak.
Yeah,
Which
I
I'd be
guess
terrified.
so.
I'd be terrified to hear the recording, and then there's like a random voice.
I honestly would kind of find that cool,
Plot
but
twist,
like
someone actually says something.
terrifying at the same time.
Oh my gosh! Don't egg him on.
I would definitely be like, okay, come here, come over here physically.
Wait, Ruthless, did
Are
you
both
ever
of your
see
face
the clip of my sister and the orb?
No.
Hold up, let me get that back
Are
out.
we almost done?
We can be done. You kind of missed the bulk of the me being into a borderline panic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys heard it as I was trying to calm myself down.
I heard it, but I was like, eh. Like,
Yeah.
I will admit, I kind of became so nonchalant with a lot of shit in general. But like, yeah, you're having a panic attack. What I'm gonna do?
You can't do anything.
Exactly. Like, what are you gonna do?
None.
Just shrugging.
I'm trying to find it here for you, Ruthless, but I don't think I can find it right off the bat. I might have to
Oh, that would
re-download it. I think I might have deleted it. Let me
It
double
should
check
be in
here.
the chat.
Yeah, it should
It
be
should
in the
be in the
chat, like
chat.
not too far away. Just a little
In this
scrolling.
chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this chat.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
posted it in this chat. I want to see if I can actually find it. They're all the gifts. Give us a minute.
Not like we talk here that much.
Mm, some days.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Mostly
don't know.
shitpost.
I don't know.
Yeah, but still a lot of talking regardless. Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of talking.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Just
found it,
search through
Ruthless.
your messages.
I found it.
You
I'm
can
pinning it,
filter
Ruthless. There you go. Ruthless, it's pinned. Take a look.
Oh, that one. I thought she was going mad.
No,
Well,
it was literally an orb. Was it was literally a spirit that was curious about her and literally manifested just to like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, I saw that. Like it was tiny and white,
Mhm.
but I saw it.
Yep.
It was weird.
Yeah, I don't see it. I still don't see it.
You don't see it?
It's like tiny and white. It looks like, I guess, like a speck of dust
Like
almost.
look around, like look by her head and then look by her arm. Like literally the moment she pauses, like the moment she stops talking, that's when she sees it.
Yeah, it goes down her arm like really fast.
I thought that was the nail.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's a lighting thing. I
See,
really
like
feel it's a
like we
lighting
said, you
thing.
either are or you aren't.
I am very skeptical of it still.
Okay,
You
well,
kind of
like
have to experience it yourself to really.
Yeah.
well, here's the thing, and like the Ruthless is someone who can't experience it, so like what do you do?
Yeah.
Because Kitty put it the best way. I don't know if you heard Skull, because you might have been gone, but like either you are or you aren't. Like this is one of those things that is black and white.
Yeah.
Because either you are able to see and feel spirits. Well, you probably still feel them, maybe, but either you can see them or you can't.
Well, to be fair, I don't think I can either. And I
You
still...
just have to look and just pay attention as well. We can probably talk about this a little more after we end the episode, Raptor.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of which, anyone else got anything to share?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. I had my borderline panic attack. I'm good.
Yeah.
I also cried. I'm good.
Yeah, I have too. You don't need to remind me.
You're welcome.
Man, I feel like a psycho just not crying.
Well, you just don't understand, and you're not empathic like me
I
and
think
Raptor
I'm not
are.
empathic. I feel bad, but I'm just can't. I
Okay, so
will
like
admit-
feeling bad versus being empathic are two whole different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
think I'm
holy
not.
fuck. Like being empathic sucks ass. But it's
Uh-huh.
also it can be also really cool, but it sucks ass. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Raptor
it
joined the club
sucks.
now.
Yeah.
I think
Alright,
I'm
but
like. So, oh, go on.
I think we're good to end it, Raptor.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the mess that this was.
All unscripted, by the way.
All unscripted. Best shit.
Do we ever write scripts?
What's a script?
I can't say anything. I'm working on a script for one of my episodes planned.
Yeah, I mean, you might script something, Skull, but
The rest of us are too lazy. All right, come on.
yeah. Anyways, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the case is for you, and we will see you guys next episode.